Hello there, and welcome to this next video in this series of how to balance chemical equations. I'm sure you've had a blast up until now. Alright, so now we want to look at the law of conservation of mass. This is the core principle when we want to balance chemical equations. Now, what is this law? What is this principle? What does it mean? Now, this law states matter cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. This means that the total mass of reactants must be equal to the total mass of products. Now, in simple terms, the number of atoms before a reaction must be the same as the number of atoms after the reaction. The atoms are only rearranged, but none are lost or gained. Now, you remember the example of cooking jollof rice that I gave one of the previous videos. On the left hand side, you can see I have a picture of the ingredients that we used, and then on the right hand side, I have a picture of the jollof rice that was produced. In chemistry, when you weigh the total mass of the pepper, the salt, the tomatoes, and everything that you used, it must be equal to not just the mass of the jollof rice. Remember, the jollof rice is not the only product, because while you were cooking, there's some water that evaporated in the process. There are some maybe ingredients that spilled over into the fire. Some things, everything that was produced as a result of making that jollof rice. When you add their masses all together, the masses of the ingredients must equal the mass of the product. That is what the law of the conservation of matter or mass says. Now, why is this law important in balancing equations? When you are writing a chemical equation, you must ensure that the number or the same number of each type of atoms appears on both sides of the equation. This is why balancing an equation is necessary. It makes sure that the equation accurately represents reality. Now, look at this real life example. For example, when you burn wood, maybe you're burning firewood to cook on Christmas Day or one of these festive periods, the reaction is actually carbon that is burning in the presence of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. Now, when wood burns, it reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water, vapor, and ash. Now, if you measure the total mass of the wood and the oxygen before you burn it must be equal to the total mass of the ash, the smoke, and the gases produced after burning. Remember, after you burn the wood, it is not only the ashes that you get that is the product. Smoke was produced, water was produced, and a host of other insignificant gases were also produced. When you pick all of them and you weigh them together, it must be equal to the mass of the wood before you started burning it. So even though the physical form of the wood changed, the mass remains constant, proving that the law of conservation of mass is true. Alright, now look at this real life example. For example, now we have the formation of water, and this is an unbalanced chemical equation for it. Look at this. Before the reaction, we have two hydrogen atoms and we have two oxygen atoms. After the reaction, we have H2O. Now, in this case, H2O has only one oxygen atom, and it doesn't match what is on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, we have two oxygen atoms. On the right-hand side, we have just one oxygen atom. So, to balance it, what do? We have a coefficient of 2 now in front of hydrogen, and then we have a coefficient of 2 in front of water on the right hand side. Don't worry, I'll show you the step-by-step process for how this was achieved. Now, both sides have 4 hydrogen atoms and 2 oxygen atoms. In this case, we have obeyed the law of conservation of mass. So a quick recap. The law of conservation of mass ensures that chemical equations must be balanced. The total number of atoms on both sides of an equation must be equal, and also balancing equation is the process of making sure that this law is followed. So now that you understand the core principles, we are ready to dive into the steps of balancing a chemical equation. Now, before we do that, I have made this entire lesson, all the videos captured in this playlist, into an ebook. It contains step-by-step guides to balancing equations. There are multiple balancing methods explained. There are fully worked out equations for you, and then there are practice problems with detailed solutions for you to try out your skills. And then my favorite is I'll be doing an exclusive giveaway for a lucky winner of $10 cash. No matter how small, it's just my way of saying thank you for engaging with me on this space. Okay, so now this ebook will be going for the price of just $1, and it won't last forever. It will last for as long as this giveaway challenge is on, and that challenge ends on Thursday, the 20th of March 2025. So scan the barcode on your screen right now, or click the link in the description of this video or my bio, because it's going to be a blast. I'll be looking forward to your answers. All the details you need to know about this giveaway is contained in the ebook once you get it. So up next, we're looking at the steps to take when you are balancing a chemical equation. I look forward to seeing you in that video. See you there.